It is Saturday. We are in the lanes. I didn't even do a wrap-up last night. We're qualified seven. We're in the lanes for the Mission Food Too Fast Too Tasty Challenge. We got Sean Langdon.
Tasty challenge. In top fuel, Sean Langdon off the starting line first. It is the Coletta Air Machine on a hole shot. Look at the speed. Clay Milliken, 3:38.26 to a 3:36.65. That is one of the quickest and fastest side-by-side runs in drag racing.
Just got back. 366 with a 4, 338 miles an hour. Fastest of the session, 3 points. That was the Mission Food Too Fast Too Tasty. Up against Sean Langdon. 4th out at the strike. Langdon for the win. Y'all are looking like some bracket racers out there. I don't know who's scrubbing the brake and who's whomping on them and all that, but I'm sick of these margins of victory, but I'm sure happy about that 66.
Me too. That is a career best run ET-wise for everybody on this team, except for me.
Yeah.
We're working on getting to my career best ET, which is a 62 in case you're wondering. But my fastest ever mile an hour at 8 mile, and everybody here, 298 miles an hour at half track. 338 is my fastest ever, and Brian Loans announced that's the 4th fastest run in NHRA drag racing history, and I cut it off 30 feet early.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, go get them the next one. We'll go after it again.
Oh.
All right, y'all, I have made it back to the hotel from the racetrack. I'm going to fill in the gaps on this video. So this next run is the second side of the challenge race for Top Fuel. It's Doug Coletta versus Steve Torrance.
What's he got for the 4-time champ? We're about to find out. Doug Coletta for the win. 367.9, 334.32. Not quite the run that put him number one.
Funny car, the challenge race is Blake Alexander, who had a huge explosion. If you hadn't seen that, it's on my video from the recap, and I posted a short of it. He was okay, though. Against Paul Lee and Austin Prock versus J.R. Todd.
Smoke for Paul Lee. Blake Alexander blows up another one. 4:17, 4:2:31, but Blake gets the win as Paul was off the throttle right at the hit, spinning the tire. Here we go, Mission Foods Too Fast Too Tasty Challenge. Austin Prock and J.R. Todd. It's a win for Austin Prock, 387.2, 335.
Pro Stock car, Dallas Glenn versus Troy Coughlin Jr. and Chris McGahey versus Jed Coughlin Jr.
KB Titan versus Elite. It doesn't get better than this. Troy Coughlin Jr. off the starting line first by a ton and outruns Dallas Glenn. 6:51.8, 2:10. Best Dallas Glenn 6:49.7. 2 thou between them on the starting line. They are door handle to door handle down the racetrack, but on the top end, Jed Coughlin just too much. 6:51.6, 2:10.41 for Jed Coughlin, and it's going to be Jeg versus Troy.
Pro Stock Motorcycle. So this weekend they had their call-out race, which is they accumulate points for qualifying all over the past year. And then at the beginning of the season, Top Fuel kicks off their call-out, then Funny Car, and so on throughout the year. So now it's the motorcycle's turn. So Gage Herrera gets first pick at call-out. He calls out Matt Smith, which is going to be good. Hector Arana Jr. called out Steve Johnson. Gianna Evaristo called out John Hall, which left Angie Smith versus last week's winner, Chase Van Sant.
Matt, Gage hasn't really been down the racetrack just yet. Matt said that he's on the ropes. This is Matt's sponsors race. Flickering those bulbs, finally going in. Smith, Gage Herrera, Getrix, all-star call out now. Better reaction time, going to Gage Herrera. Gage Herrera down the racetrack, and it's Matt Smith driving by. 6:66.2, 2:03.68, and by 9 thousandths of a second, Matt Smith loads up the world champ, Gage Herrera. Matt Smith gets it done. Now that the bike is running, it's going to be a tough run for Angie Smith. They are off the starting line together, a couple of thou advantage. Can that V-twin drive around on the big end once again? Yes, it happens again. Chase Van Zandt off the starting line first. Angie Smith gets the stripe. 6:72.2, 2:02.42. This time by 4 thousandths of a second. Angie Smith wins the race. Look at the fist pump. Look at the emotion from Angie on that Denso motorcycle. 6:73.8, 198 for Chase Van Zandt. Was 31 on the tree, left first, but it wasn't enough. Here at Sonoma Raceway. 6th thou between the two, but the better move down low, going to Gianna Evaristo. And Gianna Evaristo, 6:67.4, 2:04.54. A tremendous run for Gianna Evaristo. What a speed. Her top speed of her career, low ET of her life. Gianna Evaristo just uncorked one on John Hall. Hector Arana Jr., Steve Johnson. Red light start for Hector Arana. Hector Arana goes red, and Steve Johnson all but assures he will be selected by Matt Smith in the next round of racing.
Okay, so on Pro Stock Motorcycle, it's 8 of them, so they'll have an extra round. So Matt calls out Steve Johnson, which leaves Angie versus Gianna Evaristo.
Who will it be? Gianna Evaristo on the left, Angie Smith on the right. One shot at the final round. Who's gonna take it? 2 thou separating the two on the starting line. Best 60-foot time going to Gianna Evaristo, and she's going to the final round. Angie Smith, 6:79.6, 2:01.58. A solid run, a strong run, but not enough. Evaristo in the final round. Steve Johnson off the starting line first, but Matt Smith flies by.
All right, Pro Stock Car final is going to be Troy Coughlin Jr. versus Jed Coughlin Jr.
They're sitting pre-stage. Both rolling in. They're in at the same time. And they are off the starting line together, but Troy Coughlin Jr. with the advantage. Troy Coughlin Jr. wins the race on a hole shot. Troy Coughlin takes down his uncle Jeg. 6:52.9 beats a 6:52.2. His 24 reaction time made the difference. And Troy Coughlin Jr. is your Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge winner.
Heck of a race. Not many times you can say you beat Jed Coughlin Jr. on a hole shot, and it's your uncle. So congrats to them. And Greg Anderson got number 1 qualifier, 6:49.211. He actually took that today. And this is how they will line up tomorrow. Pro Stock Motorcycle final, Matt Smith versus Gianna Evaristo.
Here we go, guys. The Getrix, fastest name in credit card processing. Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Call-Out Final. Gianna versus Matt. Matt Smith off the starting line first. 9 thou, the Denso motorcycle for the win. 6:65.5, 2:04.23. A new track record in the final round. Matt Smith lowers the boom, and Matt Smith wins the Getrix Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Call-Out.
25,000 to the winner. Congrats to Matt Smith and NHRA Racing. He took number 1 qualifier with that run, and this is how they will line up tomorrow. funny car challenge, Austin Prock versus Blake Alexander, who had a huge banger in the last run also. So see how they do.
Try to step out, take down Austin Prock, the points leader. Austin Prock off the starting line first by a ton, and Austin Prock with a 3:89.7 wins the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge. 332 miles an hour for Austin, was 59 on the tree, and Blake runs 393.6. A solid effort for Blake Alexander, but not
Congrats to Austin. He just keeps on going. Bob Tasca, #1 qualifier, 383, 338 miles an hour, and this is how they're going to line up tomorrow. Top Fuel Finals, Doug Coletta versus Sean Langdon.
Tasty Challenge. Smoke for Doug Coletta, smoke for Sean Langdon. He's going to coast to a victory.
Congrats to Langdon. Smoke for the champ, Doug Coletta. So Langdon takes the win in the challenge race. And now I'm going to resume this video back to at the track, Clay's second run, and then I'll show you who's going to line up against who tomorrow.
Here's the lane. Next to last pair. Track temp is 116. Temperature is 65. Qualified #2. Nobody's really done nothing this session. Sun's out. It was not out really the first session, so I feel pretty confident we'll stay #2. But here we go.
Alright guys, we on our way back. Just made that hit. Told you I didn't think nobody would make any improvements over that 66. They did not. The fastest of the session was 371, Antron Brown. We were second fastest of the session, 374. Got them 2 points. Okay y'all, we're back from the second round. Ran 374?
74.
74.
And a whopping 306.
Hole out.
A mechanical.
Oh, okay.
But yes, actually, technically a hole out, but not a tune-up issue.
Okay, and they shut you off?
I shut it off.
Oh, okay. Well, I got it all wrong then. Anyway, second quickest of the session.
And I only went 306 miles an hour because I run it wide open for only 850 feet.
Nice. So tomorrow we got Torrance first round at 10:30 a.m. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye!